Hi, my name's Robin Kulek and I live in Emporium, Pennsylvania, and I am a certified financial planner. And I've been a certified financial planner for at least, 10, 12 years now. So when I graduated high school, I went to college. I went to a 4-year nursing school. So I have a bachelor's of science degree in nursing, and I worked in the Coudersport Hospital. I did extended care, I did med-surg, I did some home health. But also when I was in college, I took the school nurse certification class. And so as I was raising my family, the opportunity came up to be the school nurse in Austin, Pennsylvania, one of the smallest school districts in the state. And so I took that job. I was there for 3 years. And just like teachers need to have additional credits, or they need to have their master's degree, I needed to also improve my skill set and improve my education. So they partially paid for my master's of home economics education. And at that time, part of it was I'd always been a volunteer with Girl Scouts, I'd been a volunteer with church, but I never really saw myself as a teacher. But then through nursing, being a school nurse, I realized that that is something that I'm really good at and I really like doing. And so I picked up a few short-term teaching jobs. And but with my master's degree, Penn State Extension hired me in the early 2000s, I believe it was, as a county-based educator to do financial education. And fortunately with that, I was able to secure a scholarship that then paid for my certification classes to become a certified financial planner. And that took me over 5 years to accomplish, because there were 5 modules. And this was all self-study. This is really a lot before the internet even came. So it was a lot of reading, a lot of self-motivation. But I had a friend down in Clarion who, she told me that getting her certified financial planner was actually harder than doing her doctoral work. And she said, if nothing else, you can be your own financial planner. So I like challenges. I like just challenging myself, and so that was a personal challenge to accomplish. And once I completed all 5 modules, then I had to take a 2-day comprehensive exam. And with that exam, normally only 45 to 50% of the people that take the exam pass. And many of those folks are already in the industry, selling stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things like that, working in banks. And I was none of that. So that was kind of a really feather in my cap to be able to test out of all those modules and then take the 2-day comprehensive test and get my certification as a financial planner. So I work on a project-by-project basis. So I don't have a steady income per se from my financial planning firm. So I do have a day job. But I have a website, it's kulekfinancialplanning.com, and that website provides folks a little bit of a background as far as what it is that I do and how I work and who I am. And curiously, usually I start getting a lot of phone calls at the beginning of the calendar year, because a lot of folks are pulling out their finances, they're getting their tax returns ready and things like that. But what usually happens is people will call me, they'll shoot me an email, and they'll kind of describe what it is that they want. And based on what it is they want done, whether it's help with managing their credit, do they need help developing a budget, do they understand their 401k plan? What has happened over the last 30 years is the shift has been from your employer providing your retirement to now you deciding to be in the 401k and you picking which mutual funds and how that retirement is going to look. So the onus is not on the employer anymore, it's on you. And many families, many individuals aren't familiar with investing. And so that's a huge leap of faith and understanding that folks need to understand how to make better decisions with their money. And for me, I've always liked money. I've always liked puzzles. And so, for example, I help some families, I do their income tax returns. And so that's kind of like putting a puzzle together. You don't really know what the end picture is going to look like. But as you plug in their numbers and as you think about their particular situation, then you can come up with the right answer. And I remember this from one of the classes I took. Sometimes you as the planner may know exactly what the client needs to do, but they're not buying it for whatever reason. And so all you can do is, there's the saying, lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can propose to them what their options are, and you can show them the pros and cons. but ultimately it is up to them to implement the plan or not. And so I'm really learning to negotiate that. That it's not a once and done. We do this over a series of weeks or even a series of months, because I say financial planning is kind of like chess. When you play chess, it's not just that move that you're making right now. You're thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 moves down the road. And so I, as a planner, I'm looking down the road for them, but they need to start doing some of the mini steps to get them where they're going. I love helping people. I just love helping people, and I love that every situation is different. Many of my clients have been middle-aged and older, but right now I'm dealing with a family in Pittsburgh. It's a stay-at-home mom. They have a 9-month-old daughter, and the dad is 30, and he works in IT. And so they are doing so many things right. Even some people may question a stay-at-home mom, but in reality, they ran the numbers. And it makes financial sense for her to stay home with her child. They only have one car, and it's a used car. They use a lot of public transportation. So they're living very low beyond their means. And so it's really fun to work with people that haven't made a lot of huge mistakes that we have to spend years to try to rectify. Communication skills. A lot of computer skills. I do a lot of research on the irs.gov website. I also belong to the Garrett Planning Network, which is a group of over 300 like-minded financial planners. So they are kind of a backbone, and as we have interesting projects or questions, they post their knowledge, and then we can ask questions, we can share our knowledge and things like that. So I'm a solo practitioner, but I have that group of folks that are supporting me. And so again, they're always providing professional continuing education. To maintain my certified financial planner designation, I have to, every 2 years, I have to have 30 hours of professional education, and 2 of those have to be ethics trainings. So I do a lot of work with Excel. When I first started out, I spent a fair amount of money on very high-end planning software, but the reality is the folks that I'm dealing with don't need that kind of high-end product. I can do a lot of formulas and a lot of projections just using Excel. God has blessed me. When I lost my job, I was in my early 50s. I had my master's degree. I live in Emporium. I have family here. I have granddaughters, and actually my granddad, who's going to be 100 in December. So I just thought I just thought I'll be substitute teaching for $80 a day, or what kind of a career, because we just bought the farm a year or 2 before getting laid off. But the farm, I knit, I crochet. I have learned to spin. I have 2 weaving looms in the house now, so everything fascinates me. Shiny things. I love nature. I love science. So I love my home ec degree. We've got a garden. I do my own canning. My granddaughters are 4 and 7, and when they come, I make homemade salsa. So we have scoops and salsa every time they come. We have chickens, we've got some ducks now, we've got alpacas, and the alpacas, when I worked for Penn State the first time, I used to go to farm show every year, and the alpaca was catty corner to me. And they just look so gentle and so unique and so cool and calm. And because I do the fiber arts, now I just needed fiber animals. And we had lived on Main Street in Emporium, right next to the Catholic Church, but this farm became available, and my kitty's coming here to join us. Just check us out here. Come here, cat. So this farm became available, and the woman that lived here knew we wanted alpacas, and so she accepted our offer, which was significantly less than she wanted for it. And then there is money available because the stream that runs back here is a tributary to the Chesapeake watershed. And so there was some grant money available to provide fencing to keep the animals out of the water, and then with there was also money to put watering systems in. I found a gentleman who did the work for me for pretty much next to nothing. And so when you look around, we've got 16 acres here flat, most of which are pastures, and it was a 3-year project. But when I'm home, I pretend I'm retired, so I can, work on the front porch, working on a plan, and I wish we weren't quite so close to the highway. But it is. It's fun when the kids come. They do chores. They're learning responsibilities. They're learning how to handle the alpacas. They collect the eggs. They are able now to chase the ducks and catch them, and it's a good life. I know my daughter. She couldn't get out of Emporium fast enough. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee. She's an occupational therapist. But my son lives here. North Central Pennsylvania is a great place to raise kids, and if we need to get to Pittsburgh or Buffalo or even Toronto, it's not that far away, but we don't have the problems that those bigger cities have. And here we pretty much know our neighbors, and everybody looks out for each other, and I get a chance to travel quite a bit, but this is home. I just love it here.